all you will need this morning is your stability ball, but we're going to start free on the floor, just hands on your hips. Think of from the pubic bone to belly button to top of rib cage, drawing those abs in, and just start that moving back and forth in your foot. Just a gentle sway, doesn't have to be a massive one. If you can rise all the way up, find that balance and come down slowly, do so. If that's a little tough on the toes to start with, just sway. Relax the shoulders, let's give them a little roll forward and backwards. Both directions, doesn't matter which one you choose first. Start to inhale into the nose, exhale into the mouth, settle into the feet. Let's reach the arms up, come around the corner, big beach ball in your abs and around your spine here. So it's going to do a little bit of articulation. Lengthen your spine, find yourself in your squat, and then exhale, tuck and round as you come up. And go ahead and lengthen into your squat and round as you come up. Sorry guys, just letting a few people on. Beautiful. Keep going with that. When you go to your squat, drop down deeper. And then when you come up, really tuck that tailbone under. There we go. Everyone's on now. Squat it. Stick the booty out. And then exhale and round. So if the hips are tight, heel toe wider for your squat. Press it down. So I just went wider so I can get my butt a little lower, but still stay neutral. So I bring my feet in tight and I try and go low. My tailbone tucks. So wider, stay neutral. And then exhale, curl, really tucking that tailbone under. Glutes are going to squeeze, hamstrings are engaging. Exhale, squat and curl. Let's go one more time. It's just that nice, gentle movement. Exhale, curl. Inhale, stay down here, roll those shoulders, reach the arms, and just press back. So let's just do a couple squats here, getting a little bit bigger in the legs. Inhale down. Exhale up. Just take an awareness, knees, hips, ankles. How's everything feeling? Go one more time. Press it up. Stay in the up. Bring yourself back to sits bones. Reach the arms to me. Open up your fingers and your thumbs and your palms. Lift the heart. Give a little extension there. Exhale, heart hug round. Let's go again. Pull those palms back. Lift the heart. Opposite arm on top. Heart hug. And then both arms. Lift that chest. Slowly let that come down, roll those shoulders, give a little wiggle, and let's go ahead and engage into that ball. So bring your ball forward. Again, mine's a 65, but I don't have it blown up really full. I prefer it more full than what I've got here. So I can't stand tall and keep my fingers on it. So I'm going to use my knees so that you can come to tall. Just use your legs gently on the ball. Reach your arms because we don't want to be sideways all the time. Reach the arms, come around the corner, press that ball out. Push into your hands. If you're a bit tight, keep it closer and stretch the booty back. From here, I'm going to start that rocking back and forth. I'm going to sneak my shoulders into my back pockets. I've gone into elbows bent and I've placed my elbows on to give my body more support. Decreases my lever length through my torso. Inhale, exhale, and then bend the knees, slowly fold up. Again, just tuck it into those legs so you can lift that heart, open it up. Hands down, center heart. Let's roll again, vertebrae by vertebrae. Start to press that out. Maybe I can push my arms wider this time and drop more into my shoulders. Inhale, exhale here, still rocking back and forth. Really lift the balls up. So sink here for a moment, lifting your toes, your balls of foot, maybe even your arch up, and then just kind of press forward slightly. Go ahead and lift that nice and strong. Shift your shoulders back. And bring it in and then bend those knees quite deep. Articulate your spine. Let that ball come in. Again, big breath up. Hands down, center heart. On this one, hinge, so you're a bit more into a squat. Take the ball off to one side. So from here, I've just kind of put it off to one side. And keeping that neutral spine, I'm going to stir the pot. Nice and strong. So if that ball's really small, you can stand tall and just have fingertips on if you don't want to be forward. Otherwise, down you go. If you want to go deeper, drop to your elbow. Right, totally up to you. Go ahead and circle the other direction. And we're going to do that saw. So we're going to reach across the leg, rotate, and then I want you to rotate away. Now your whole pelvis might shift, that's okay. Inhale down into a squat, and then I'm extending one leg and I'm rotating open. Press it down, rotate. If it feels good, stretch that arm up to the sky, open up the rib cage. Inhale down, exhale, reach, make this big. One more time, down, make it big. And then hold it in the down, grab somewhere along this leg and rotate. Push the ball out if you're able to and rotate, peeking through your armpit towards the sky. Nice big breath here. Bring it back to center, drag it all the way up, and then stay facing the side, but bring your feet in closer. And I am laterally flexed. I'm going with that. Reach it up, open to the side. Lean your hips in opposition. Push the ball. Reach that. Take a couple big breaths there. If it's a little tight, just kind of sway into the movement to start with. If that shoulder's not having it, tuck your elbow in towards your headline. If you're okay, reach. Make it a bit more active. Reach. Go one more time. Now stay here. Take a big, massive breath into the rib cage and then fold forward towards the ball. Let the ball go and just roll it up. Give a little wiggle there. I've got the runaway ball happening here. So go ahead. Let's do it on the other side. So take it wide, hinge a little bit, stir the pot. Feeling good, you can go farther down. Feeling really good, you can go down to your elbow, but make sure the knees are bent so we're not hunched in our backs, right? So I'm not kind of here. I'm pushing the pubic bone up and I'm nice and neutral. Go ahead and stir the other direction. Start to increase, inhale nose, exhale mouth. Get some good volume of air into those lungs. And then let's go ahead and we're going to bend down to reach and then pull it across. Bend down, pull it across. Inhale. Exhale, working for you. You're going to extend that arm up to the sky, adding a little more length happening into that rotation. Give me one more. And then we're going to hold it in the down. Rotate, grab anywhere you feel comfortable. Peekaboo up through your armpit towards the sky. Again, if that neckline doesn't like looking up there, look down to the floor. Nice big breath here. Bring it to the center. Bends, fold all the way up. We're going to bring those feet in tight. It's going to cause you to laterally flex if you have a smaller ball. Go with it. That's where we're going anyways. Hand to the headline and press into that. So the closer my feet are, the more stretch I can get. If I'm out here, it'll be a little less of a stretch into the obliques. When you're ready, you can start to pump that arm. Reach it out. Really engage the foot that you're reaching away from down to the ground so you feel the hip stretch. Now hold it here. Push everything out to the side, peek to the floor, no tension in your neck. Massive breath into the intercostal muscles. And then bring it all the way forward. Come right through the center, let the ball go. Give a little roll in your shoulders. So go ahead, grab that ball between the legs again. Beautiful. Reach to the sky. Come around the corner. One last stretch here, you guys. Press it out. Turn yourself into a passive squat position and just bring the ball in as you float down towards the floor. So we're getting deep into our squat. So if you're okay, you can let your ball go, put your hands to the floor. My ball's going to run away, so I'm just going to keep a hold of it and hold it in tight. If this is a little tight down there, you're up here. You're up here kind of waking up those hips. So we're looking at deep knee flexion, deep hip flexion, and I'm articulating up to my toes, getting my toes kind of warmed up as well. Inhale, exhale, and then from here, press nice and strong, heel toe all the way in, so you're in quite a pencil position, and stretch that out. So this is a little deeper into the hamstrings. The legs are now in parallel. Bend the knees, slowly float all the way up. Take that ball around the corner, and let's go ahead and sit nice and tall into it. So I'm in the middle of my mat. Right now I'm sitting on the apex, right at the very top of it. And my feet are maybe shoulder width, maybe sits bones is tougher. You can choose that. I'm going to go shoulder, reach the arms. Let's get a little bit of twist. So make sure you're not tucked under, tall in your sits bones. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate a bit more. Look to the back hand. Now peek to your knees. If your knee closest to the direction you're reaching got shorter, you moved your pelvis. Exhale, bring it center. Keep that pelvis still. Inhale, rotate, grow an inch. Rotate, cut the room in half with your vision. Rotate, look to the back hand. A little bit of cervical rotation. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, rotate, and rotate, and rotate. Look to that back hand. Exhale, center. Imagine a ball between your inner thighs so you're not shifting your legs. Rotate. One more time. Rotate. All the way to center. Relax those arms. Bring your booty slightly forward. So now you're kind of sitting. Now this ball again, it's quite squishy, so my knees are more past 90. That's okay as long as it doesn't bother your knees. I'm going to give a little rocking here. So I'm going to come up to the balls of my feet. I'm going to roll into it, and I'm going into a pretty deep knee flexion here. Just see where you're going to go with that. And then press it out, find straight, stick out your booty, reach forward. So the deeper I sit, the deeper this is going to become, and I can come right down. So I'm going to passive squat right down. Just don't lose your ball. Yeah, Lisa. And then press out. You have to be careful. And then push the hips away and lengthen forward. Let the head drop down. So again, be very mindful where that ball is so it doesn't shoot out. Stay in your body. When you're coming here, I'm rounding, so my back weight is in there. Tuck your tailbone under and round so that your shoulder, yeah, there it is. There's your knee flexion. And now from here, hands maybe to the floor. Maybe you can reach that quad down. Right, so I'm pressing that quad down towards the floor. Massive stretch into the toes, knees, and then into the quads, starting to get a little more open here. And then push your back into the ball, and you might need to walk your feet in, depending on how far you went there, and then stretch forward into that forward flexion. I'm wiggling my tailbone from left to right here. And I can go so far as I move it quite far from left to right, getting a good little wiggle. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Now for me, I moved backwards a bit, so I'm going to come back up, sit slightly forward, and I'm going to go into my full roll, right? So from here, I'm going to scoop the abdominals. The ball doesn't move. I'm going to roll my spine open, support your neck if you need to. Here's your first opener into that lower back and into the extension. Big breath here. Exhale, cervical nod, big breath out. Scoop the abdominals, straighten the legs. Let's reach and lengthen forward. So for me, again, got to sit farther forward so my spine actually hits the ball all the way through. Curl, the ball will move. Then we're going to keep it stationary and we're going to just move our spine along the ball. If you don't need your hands, reach them. Port de bras, arms wide, circle round, push the back into the ball. And stretch forward. Big breath here. One more time. Peel it. Ball moves, then the ball stays stationary. Support your neck if you need to, you guys. Open it up, stretch it out. Now freeze here. Freeze here. Rock it back and forth. Get a little extra stretch going. I'm always scared I'm going to lose my head down there, so I kind of grab my mat just to give me a little extra support, which allows me to go farther. My head is basically on the ground now, but I'm not going to slip. I'm holding on. I'm going to stretch my legs out, and my hip flexors and my lower back now are getting a beautiful extension. And then bring it back. Push into the ball, slowly come up, and we're going to change that into saw. So we're going to continue that movement. Wow, I'm klutzy on my ball today. Just kind of ignore my beautiful, graceful movements. Scoop the abdominals, roll it all the way back, same way, same way. Open it up, big stretch there. Now as we come up, have railway tracks for arms. They're parallel. I'm going to extend out. I'm going to take my right arm. I'm going to reach it back. I'm going to take my left arm. I'm going to saw off my right leg. I'm going to draw down, and I'm going to look up to that hand, finding saw. I'm going to come back, finding parallel. Open the spine. You still can have your head on the neckline if you need it. Come all the way up. I'm going to sweep my left. I'm going to reach with my right. I'm going to saw off my left leg somewhere, anywhere. And then look up to that back pinky. That shoulder is going into extension. Reach it towards the sky. And then draw back. Find your railway tracks. We're going to do it one more time on each side. Open it. Sweep it up. Railway tracks. Slide that arm. And stretch, peekaboo with that arm, get that extension. And then back again. One more time, you guys. Roll that ball. Big mobility in our spine happening this morning, you guys. Reach it. Press that up. Saw off the opposite leg. Peekaboo to the sky. And then bring it all the way back. Hands come parallel. Last one. Circle the arms wide and around. Stretch it out. Little bit tight, go ahead and hold there in the chest line stretch. So I've gone from reaching towards the wall down to bringing my elbows towards the ball, opening my chest. Then I'm going to cervical nod, push into that ball, and let myself roll up. Go ahead and just kind of make some circles with that. So I've gone really wide with my legs, and now I'm just sort of circling my spine. So here I'm in extension, I'm pushing the booty out. Now I'm in lateral flexion, now I'm in full flexion, and I'm just rolling through. And then go ahead, roll the other direction. Legs have to be quite wide, right? So that you don't go flying off the ball. And just feel that spine move. Let everything go with it, round and open. And then wiggle yourself to tall. So we're going to use a wall here. You need a long run of a wall. If you've got hand weights, grab them. I forgot to grab mine, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to place the ball into the wall. From here, when I fall backwards, it's going to hit into the small of my back, right into the curvature. So not booty, not shoulder blades, kind of in between. So I'm going to place the ball, stand forward of it, and then fall back into the ball. From there, I'm going to walk my feet a little farther forward. I've got shoulder width, abs engaged. When I squat, the tendency will be for the knees to go forward and the tailbone to tuck. Sit straight down into a squat. Don't let your bum go with the curve of the ball. Don't let it tuck under. Keep it neutral. And then power it up. Down and up. Inhale, exhale. Little bicep curl. If you've got weights, go grab them, guys. Just pretend I've got some weights going here. So it's staying neutral. I'm nice and strong. The distance between ribs and hips isn't changing. And we're just pumping through. Let's go for 4 more. And 3. Nice strong breath. Last 2. Now hold down little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back your feet up a little bit. So your knees are going a bit over your toes or very close to over your toes. Press your back into the ball quite firmly. Lift your heels, lower your heels. Lift your heels, lower your heels. So you're holding a squat. The quads are in an isometric contraction. Should feel them getting warmer. And I can just do that little bicep curl with this if I'm choosing arms, or I can place the weights on my quads, just making it more weight. See if you can find a 90-degree angle at that knee joint. Keep the heels lifted, pulse. 5, 4, very controlled. 3, 2, stay on the high heel. Press to tall and laterally rotate. Drop the heels, laterally rotate. So now I've opened up. I'm going to come back up on the ball of my foot and lower it down. My knees are staying straight and I'm focusing just on a little calf raise. I am at an angle. I'm a slight angle. I'm leaning back. If someone removed the ball, I'd fall back and hit my back against the wall. So you have a lean. You could move your feet farther forward if you wanted to, Lisa. Yeah, so you really feel you're leaning into it. Now, keeping the heels lifted, lower it down. Little pulse. 5, 4, 3, abs engaged. 2, stay here. Lower your heels. Lift your heels. Lower, lift. Let's go. 4 and 3. Rib, rib, hip, hip, square. Last 2 and 1. Now stay lifted again. Little pulse. 5, 4. Get nice and deep. Hip flexion, knee flexion, ankle work. 2 and 1. Send it to tall. Lower the heels. Spiral the feet back into parallel. Bring it into sits bones. Take one leg, put it behind. So I'm lunging a leg back. If that causes too much extension here in the hip flexor, move your front foot forward and decrease how far you swung that leg back. Push your body weight into the ball, lower it down, bring it up. So single leg squat, or lunge, should I say. Now, if I wanted to make this harder, I would take this leg that's behind and drive it. So I'm going to lunge down, I'm going to drive it. Push your body weight into the ball. So I'm going to go bicep curl, tricep extension, alternating the arms like a running pattern. If you don't need to put the foot down on the floor behind you, go slower and turn your foot this direction versus here, which will give you less support, which puts more weight in the front leg. Right? Totally up to you. Let's go 4 more. If you can, get that shin down, so I'm touching my knee very gently down and then driving it up. You can get pretty deep here, guys. Let's go 2 more. And last 1. Hold it in the down, little pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Power it up and switch it out. Give a little wiggle there. Kind of hinge the hips left and right, open it up. Set the other leg. Remember, if you're setting out here, you're going to twist. Has to be straight out from sits bones. kind of almost in the center sensation of the ball, and then curl the toe initially on the first couple. Keep the foot engaged to the ground on the first couple, just to find your happy place. And now this time, let's laterally raise. If you're doing the arms. And press. Let's go 4 more. And 3, and then we're going to challenge it a bit by taking that anchor point away. Turn the foot upside down if you're able to. Find your balance point. Down and up. So the minute you turn that foot upside down, you can get a little deeper. When you're ready, drive that knee. Let's go 4, 3. Hip, hip, rib, rib, square. Be really careful you're not shifting your pelvis. Now we're going to stay in the down and we're going to pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Power it up. Bring that leg down. Whoo. Shift the pelvis. Let your ball drop out. Push it into the wall a little bit so you're stable. Let's go into 4 stretch. So I'm going to use that wall for stability and sneak into the 4. Now, if you've got more range of motion in your hips than just this 4 and you want to go to the floor and do double pigeon, go right ahead. This is what I've got in my hips. I'm going to stay here. Play around with rolling forward and backwards. See how that hip feels. Wiggle your tailbone from left to right. It'll change the sensation. Increase that inhale, exhale. And then slowly come out of that. Find your other leg in place. And stretch forward into that one. So I am keeping a hand on the wall so I can focus on the hip stretch. That's up to you. If you've got the balance, don't worry about it. I'm off today, so I'm definitely holding on to my wall so I don't go flying. Inhale, exhale. Play around with side to side patterns. Front back patterns. Find your inhale, exhale. And then carefully come out of that. Give those hips a little wiggle. See how they feel. And let's bring that ball around, stand it up nice and tall. So we're just going to do 1 sit down roll. And then we're going to go to some toe taps here. So I'm right at the very end. Take an inhale. I'm going to give a good passive squat. I can use my ball for support. And then I'm just going to roll and bring it to neutral. So I'm placing that ball on the top of my knees. My hands are going to push the ball into my knees. My knees are like a brick wall. They're not going to move. Find a neutral position here. My feet aren't drawn up yet. If you want to go right with feet drawn up, you can. I'm going to start here. So let's get the sensation of pushing the palms into the ball and feeling how that braces onto your legs and it just tightens up the core. But stay in neutral. The legs aren't lifted. Hold 4, 3, still pushing, 2, and 1. Relax off the push. Let's do it one more time. Take an inhale. Exhale and press and hold. Drop your elbows. If your elbows are out here to the side, tuck them in so you can sneak your shoulders into your back pockets. 3, 2, and 1. Let that release. Now, if you're okay with this, we're going to go to supported spine. Hold the ball in your hands. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. Now the ball is more at the tip of the knees. Hands are on top. So as I push into my hands, I have to pull into my knees, right? Knees pull in, hands push away, and compress the ball. Compress it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax it off. Let's do it one more time. Take a big breath. Exhale and compress. 5. Draw those abs in so you're not making a pyramid or a cone in your abdominals, right? 2 and 1, and release that off. Grab the ball, keep it in your hands. You're in supported spine, and you're just going to take the hands over the head and touch the knees. Watch here, the ribs don't start to pop. If your shoulders and neckline are not happy for any tension going on, you can use a headrest or put the ball down. Let's start the legs. I'm going to toe tap and bring it up. Sorry, go single leg to start with. 1, and up, and alternate. If that feels good, you know you're going to that straight leg option. If it still feels good, your legs can be in scissor and you're going into straight leg. So I'm either holding neutral or supported. Generally, we hold supported here to feel that engagement of the abs. If you're able to hold neutral and not feel that the lower back is kicking in, go right ahead and go there. It's a little bit more challenging. Let's go 2 more. and 1. Hold the legs up, bring them back to knee fold, and we're going to do double in a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, touch, up, 2, 3, touch. If it feels good, legs go out straight, 2, 3, 4. If you can touch, go ahead. If it's not going to happen, don't stress it, right? The priority is not letting the rib-hip connection go, staying nice and stable. Feeling good, straighten the legs the whole time, down, 2, 3, touch, up, 2, 3. We have one more, down, 2, 3, touch, up, 2, 3. Hold it here, bend the knees, relax the shoulders, open up the legs, and you can either put it in the knees. So this might be a big groin stretch, either in between the knees, and you'll have to squeeze a bit with the sides of your legs to do your touch, move your hip down and up. Or if that's working nicely, you put it between the feet, which is more aggressive, and then go up and down there. Harder, right? So do a couple either between the knees or between the feet, and then we're going to start a roll up with this. So as the legs go down, we stay down. As the legs come up, I'm going to roll, and I'm going to grab that ball with my hands. I'm going to lower down, roll up, and place the ball either between ankles or knees. Roll down, reach, roll up, grab. Roll down, reach, seesaw. Roll up, grab. Roll down, reach, and up. You've got 2 more, guys. One more. Hold here, bend the knees, place the ball between your legs, rest your legs on the ball. I'm going to take my feet right at the very extreme edge of the ball, and I'm in turnout, and I'm just going to push out and pull in. So I want my legs wide enough that I can just get some hip movement happening here. Just doing little frogs on the ball, upper torso's just relaxed. I'm just moving through that range. If you feel like you've got one hip that's really stuck, which I do for sure, I'm going to put that one hip on and just do the one leg and go a bit bigger into kind of 90-90s. So if you've got a sticky joint, focus into that a little bit more. And then let's go into some bridge work. So pull that ball right into your tush. If you want your hand weights, you can have them. So the ball, I'm using my heels and I'm pulling the ball right into the tush. So I actually feel my hamstrings turn on. If I pull it in close enough, and it's not a massive ball, and I push down with my heels, I could actually lift the ball off the ground, right? So I can do a little lift there, a reverse curl. So we're going to go with that. If you can't feel that pushing of the heels into the ball and that squeezing and pulling in because your ball's too big, just get rid of it. Cross one foot and just do hip lifts without the ball. Otherwise, we're in there nice and tight. And we're going to take an inhale and we're going to exhale, lift and lower. Yes, you will push into your hands. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale out. Let's go for 4. And press out. And 3. And 2. And last one. And reach. That's a tough one. Press the heels this time so your heels are on top, and then walk your heels in. We're going to go into hamstring work. So no headrest if you have it here. I'm going to peel my spine up. Go ahead and place your hands there. Find yourself in your tall bridge and feel your hamstrings kick in. And then peel it all the way down. Inhale at the bottom. Push into your heels and then tuck your tailbone and press up. Inhale, keep it here. Look down to your inner thighs. Make sure they're not way out here to the side. And peel it down right out through your pubic bone. Exhale, press it up. Now stay here. Push your legs to straight. Your body will drop a little bit. Pull it all the way in. We're going to do 2 or 3 of these. Let's press it out and pull it in. Let's go for 4. A little bit of bridge work. And 3. So now my spine is quite neutral. And 2. Draw those abs in nice and tight. And last one. And then peel that nastiness all the way down. Whoo! Leave one leg over top, bring the other leg in, point and flex into the hamstring, stretch that out. If you've got your stretch strap, right, if this is too difficult and you feel too much tension in the lower back, grab your stretch strap. Inhale, exhale, release that leg, switch it to the other side, little point and flex. Inhale, exhale as you go, and then release that leg down. Bring that ball around to the corner and just use your body weight to pull yourself up. So we're going to release in, open it up. So just kind of slide your ball somewhere it's not going to run away on you. And let's do a little tabletop here. Fingers pointing towards the bum, shoulders down and away, feet parallel sits bones or wider, and then press up. Open those shoulders. If you're okay, look to the sky. Big breath here. Exhale, booty just touches gently. Let's go again. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, shoulders are getting stretched. 2 more, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, give me 1 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now we're going to go wild thing. Take that hand, move it back, and turn it the opposite direction. Just don't jam out on your elbow. So slightly bent, coming from your tailbone. Lift, up go the hips. And then I'm going to press those hips to the sky, get a little stretch, look to my backhand on the ground. And then bring both sits bones right back down. Let's go again. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. 1 more time. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. You can go on your elbow if you need to, guys, right? The shoulders aren't having it. Switch hands. Switch hands. Soften the elbow. Don't jam out on that joint. And let's go ahead and lift. And bring it down. 3 more. And lift. And bring it down. Go 2 more. Exhale and lift. And bring it down. We got 1 more big one, guys. Exhale and lift. Inhale, bring it all the way down. Stretch those legs out, paddle them. We are going to go into side lying lift series or kneeling. So if you know that your knees don't like kneeling position, do this whole sequence in our traditional side lying position, right? That we usually play with. We're going to use the ball in kneeling if your knees invite. Excuse me. If your knees are okay kneeling, but you need a pad, that works too. So I'm going to start with the ball on my hip. I'm going to put my elbow down, which might cause a little bit of lateral flexion. I've got a lateral rotation happening. And if you can see between my legs, the ball that's on this side, that's the leg that's going to stay engaged to the floor as I kind of teeter-totter over. In this position, you can curl the toes to give you more anchor point or uncurl. Right? So initially try it curled and see how it feels. And then go tall on the one hip. So I'm going to press up so I'm tall on the one hip, and then pull the ball into my greater trochanter, and then lie on it. So depending on the size of your ball will determine where your upper torso goes. This leg now goes straight out. I'm going to go deeper and support my neck as well. Watch not rolling back on your booty. Lift, lower. So that anchored toe is in lateral rotation on the hip. I can let go of the anchor, making it a little more unstable. So uncurl your toe if it's working for you. Lift lower. So if I look down to my leg, I'm between 2 planes of glass and I'm coming straight up. Abs are engaged, nice and strong. 4 more. Point flex the foot as an option. Last one. Hold that leg reaching, challenging. This hand can go down on the ball for stability. Up on the hip is harder. And add your rotation in your hips. I'm circling. If my hips are not inviting, I could bend the knee and decrease the weight load of my leg, right? Shorter lever length. Switch directions. Go for 4, 3. Keep the spine as still as you can. 2, and 1. And now we're just going to reach it out there. Draw your shoulders down and back. This hand is going to hold on. Flex the foot. Do 2 kicks forward. 1, 2, and extend it back. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Double kick series. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, sideline kick series. What did I just call it? Double kick series. Well, you can just forget that. One more time. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Now put both hands on top. Bend this knee and push to bring yourself up. Give a few little wiggles into the hips, side to side, get some lateral going there. We were holding against lateral. Now I want you to move to lateral. Whip that ball to the other side, find your lateral rotation, anchor the foot that's closest to the ball. Find yourself there, pull this in, lift this knee off, collapse the hip in, reach the leg. Get rid of the anchor if you don't want it. Support your neck. From here, lift, lower, lift, lower. Again, between two planes of glass. So as I lift and lower this leg, if I'm looking straight forward, I should not see my foot in my peripheral vision, right? It's going straight out. Rib, rib, hip, hip is not changing. The movement's coming from the hip line. Tendency will be rolling back on your booty. Stay straight so this hip is straight up to the sky and your knees or toes are facing the side of the wall. Lift, lower. Again, if your neck is bugging you, just rest your head. If you're okay, you can hold longer. Might need your fingers down. Go into your circles. Nice big circles. Inhale, exhale. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the other way for 5, 4. Try and avoid wiggling forward and backwards. We're trying to stabilize against the movement of the leg. And 1. Now reach that long. Have your hand down, flex the foot, 2 kicks forward, 1 swing back. 1, 2, point the toes, swing it back. So remember on this, again, we're trying to keep the body between two planes of glass, the torso, and the hip is going into flexion and extension. If you need to bend the knee to do this, as I fall off demonstrating that, do so. And press, give me 1 more. Bend that knee, anchor the toe if you haven't. Hands on strong, press. And come off. Give a little booty wiggle side to side. Sway it out. So as I sway it, I'm pushing into that lateral, right? I'm stretching the spine out in the opposite direction. You can let go of the ball if it feels good to go deeper. So in kneeling position, keep your hips square. Arm goes up. Think mermaid. Think mermaid. Side lateral. Gentle rotational. Back to side lateral. All the way out, swing the ball to the other side, reach it up, side lateral, rotational, back to side lateral, and all the way out. Roll those shoulders. So we're going to continue with that oblique concept. Stand up any way that feels comfortable for you. And I think this side of the wall I'm just going to turn my camera. There we go. Now I can see you guys. And you're going to find yourself on the side of the wall. I've got more space on this side. So I'm going to step forward with my inside leg. No, I'm not. I'm going to step forward with my leg closest to the ball, back with my leg closest to the wall. Not too far on the back leg. Lunge down, pull this towards your hip, but kind of drop out into it. So the same idea as that kneeling position. Put your elbow on. Plant one foot, plant the other. Both feet are strong to the wall. I'm going to straighten out my front leg, but I'm not going to straighten out my back leg. If I straighten out my back leg, I pull into my hip a fair amount. My QL turns on. If I keep it bent, then I have a nicer position. Allow your waistline to lie on the ball. The farther out I am, the harder. The closer into the wall I am, the easier. That's up to you. From here, I'm going to wrap one arm, put the other arm on the ball. Make sure my hip, my knee, all in one shoulder, all in one nice long line. I'm going to go down into full flexion and then up. When you go down, don't let gravity just take you. Lengthen the muscles with purpose. Exhale, reach it up. Now, if it's feeling okay, this arm can reach down the leg. Still okay, this hand can go on the headline. Still okay, that arm is now a weight load. Still okay, both arms. Yeah, you got it, Lisa. Both arms going. Yes, inhale, choose your options. Exhale, don't roll back on your booty. Stay engaged to the back foot. Go 3 more. And 2, nice and slow up, nice and slow down. And 1, hold it straight out from the ball. Rib, hip, pulse. 5, 4, very small. 3, 2, 1, lie your armpit along. So I'm going to widen out my stance now, quite wide. So I've got this big stance happening, and then support the neck or not. I'm going to roll forward, reach the arm, and then roll all the way back. Now, if your shoulders don't like this, put your hand into your chest. Otherwise, roll your back onto the ball, look to the back wall, and then look to the front wall. We're just rolling back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Let your body move with the ball. Open it up and then reverse your circles. Let's go 2 more for me, you guys. And last one, just feel everything moving. Get a whole body stretched out. Reach it to the front. Feel that back leg is kind of reaching away. So you get that nice long line. Bring it back to center. Get firm with your feet. Put your elbow on. Get one foot underneath you. And then press to come up. Yeah, perfect. Same thing other side, right? So I'm going to go on this way, facing straight on this time. The leg closest to the wall goes forward. No, it doesn't. Wow. Leg closest to the wall goes back. Leg closest to the ball goes forward. Sink down. Pull it into your hip a little bit. Drop into it. Find your feet nice and strong. I like my front leg pretty much straight, but my back leg is staying quite bent. And then I'm just going to find my happy place where my spine lies along the ball. Have your hand supporting your neck or over your shoulder, other hand on the apex of the ball, just to get that first couple initial movements. If this feels good and you feel like you're in alignment, that hand on the ball reaches down the leg. It just runs the leg, right? Nice and smooth. All the way into flexion one direction and as high as you can. No momentum here. Hand on the headline, a little harder. Arm reaching a little harder. Both arms reaching, obviously way harder because that weight load of the arms is above the head, taking it away from the center of gravity or line of center of line of gravity, which makes it harder. Exhale up. Inhale, open. Exhale, up. When you open, don't lose connection, right? Stay connected. It gives you a little stretch, but it's a connection. Let's go 3 more. Draw those abs in strong. 2 more. And on the last one, we're going to find neutral and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So I take my legs way wider. I get a little deeper on the ball, and now I'm going to reach forward. I like supporting my neck. It's up to you. I'm going to pull my body weight forward, allow my back to lie on the ball, and I'm going to stretch open. So for me, this is where I am the tightest in this opening position. So I'm going to hang out here for a moment before I rotate. Any shoulder stuff going on, you're welcome to take that hand in towards your breastbone as you do this. You might get a few cracks and pops in that spine. Everything's nice and warm now. Let's go ahead and switch directions. Palm to the sky as you open right here. If you can take that visual and kind of follow that arm a little bit without making yourself dizzy, go ahead. One more big stretch, guys. Reach it to the front, pull it all the way in. Secure your hand on the ball in the wall, walk your feet in, press that up. We're going to turn and go straight on. Here you're going to really watch that you're not on a carpet that your ball could go shooting out because we're going forward into our pubic bone. I'll start in this position and then I'm going to go to the wall partway through. So when you see me come out, you don't copy me. It's just for better visual. So I've got my legs quite wide to start with. It's going to be too wide. I'm close into the wall and then I'm going to hold my ball. So I would be about 2 feet off, my 2 feet off, where the ball is touching my big toe. And now I'm wide. I'm going to drop down, put my pubic bone into the ball, hands go down. Now my legs are too wide. So I'm going to kind of lift my legs so they're not stuck to the ball. And now find them against the wall with a little lateral rotation happening. Here, again, the farther forward the ball, the less aggressive. The farther the ball is towards the wall, the more aggressive, right? I'm going to start with my hands on the ball. Now, if I get into this position and I dump forward, the ball needs to come out from the wall, right? So from here, pull your abs in, and then just give me a little extension here. Bend the knees, go floppy. Let your butt go. So we're going floppy here. So I've got a big bend in my knees. I'm not putting pressure into the back. I'm supporting my hands. And I'm just waking up that extension in my spine. My foot is not on the floor. It's just right against my baseboard. It just depends on how your hips turn out, right? Now fold it down, and now extend the legs strong. You can be right up on the ball of your foot if you want. Hands are on, and now I'm going to go into my extension. So I'm pulling the abs in, and then fold all the way forward. Exhale, press. So with that in mind, I'm going to go over here, and it gives you a better visual of where my feet are in this movement. So I can be up on the ball of foot here, right? Versus flat. Don't have to be. That'll give you more extension in your calf line. Now, if this is working for you, arms reach down to your side as you extend, and then fold it into the ball. Don't let go of your core, though. Exhale, reach and lengthen up. Inhale, fold. So I'm not bending and straightening the legs unless this is really getting at my back. Then maybe I don't come as high, or I focus on pulling those abs in a little stronger, or I bend the knees a little bit to get out of my hip flexor. Right? That's okay. Still working for you. Arms reach forward. Arms are heavy. I'm having a nice wide V with the arms. And bring it down. Pull those abs in. Go one more time. Lengthen up. Lengthen down. Now we're going to change this into swan dive. So I'm going to tuck my knees in, fold forward. I'm going to start with my hands on the ball. I'm going to push out and find torpedo. So I'm just straight. I'm neutral. I'm straight like Superman. I'm going to use my hands pressed to the ceiling, but I'm going to bend my knees. So I'm pushing my pubic bone into the ball. And now I'm kind of straight up and down from the ceiling. And then from here, I'm going to give a bit more extension. Bring myself straight up and down. Push out to torpedo. And then bend the knees and just fold. So I'm just taking a recovery here, but abs stay engaged. Harder, arms reaching to your sides. I'm going to press out, find torpedo. Bend the knees, find the sky. Lift the heart a bit more. Open those shoulders. Bring it back to straight up and down. Push it out to torpedo. Fold it forward. We're going to do 3 more aggressive arms reaching forward, right? So press out to torpedo. Again, arms are heavy. Bend the knees, push the pubic bone into the ball, reach to the sky. Give me an extra extension. Bring it back to the sky. Reach it out to torpedo. Straighten those legs, pull in those abs, fire those glutes, and fold. 2 more, whatever variation you want here, guys. Press it to torpedo or Superman, sort of. Lift to the sky, bend those knees. Give me a little more extension. Bring it to the sky. Reach it out. Fold it. We have one last one, you guys. And then press it out to straight. Lengthen to the sky. Reach it a little deeper. Bring it back. You might notice on each movement you can get deeper and deeper and deeper. That's fabulous. And then fold forward. So in the fold forward, I'm just going to give a little roll. So if I'm too close to the wall, I'm going to move away here. And I'm just kind of rolling forward, allowing my spine to find the curvature of the ball. Now, if this feels good, my hips probably won't invite it. Maybe. If I widen, now my legs are really wide on the ball, right? And then when I roll back, I'm going into it like a froggy, where I can get my heels down maybe, and it really opens my hips. So now I'm just like a frog on my ball, right? Coming forward and pressing back. Just feel everything open. If you can go so far as to get your heels down and kind of that ball now is lifted up, I'm right on my heels and it's opening everything up. Go right ahead. And press. Let's get one more there. So this is just relaxing out all that extension. Hands on the ball, feet to the floor. Slowly peel it up. Heel toe those feet in tighter. Let those knees grab that ball. Roll as you come out. Whoo, that's a tight one. That's a tough one, you guys. Inhale, open that up. And we're going to continue on with a little bit of, planking work. So I'm coming into my ball nice and strong. So this will be tucking more. We're going to play with this. So if you know eventually you're going to do the full rollout, you'd actually start off your mat because you end up walking your hands quite far forward. I'm going to start small. So I'm going to start here and I'm just going to back my legs up, drop my knees into the ball and kind of let my spine curve as I find my hands on. My arms are reaching too far forward, what feels too far. I'm going to shift my shoulders into my back pockets, get my legs so that they're connected and tight, and then I'm just going to pull. So my quads now and my pubic bone are on the ball. I haven't gone all the way out. From here, I'm just going to do a scoop of the abdominals. So I'm going from neutral to scoop. I'm starting small. I want you to feel the rib hip. So don't find neutral and just stick your bum up, right? So this is just staying in, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm feeling my back extensors quite lovely, but I just worked those. So now I want to round. I'm going to look to my pubic bone and lengthen out. Go 2 more. Inhale long. One more time. Inhale long, and then just roll back into your frog. Take a little recovery, roll those wrists a little bit, relax those off. So on this one, I'm going to walk farther out. I'm going to put my knee shin on the ball, which then is less weight load being supported, more weight load into my core. It's going to be harder, right? So I'm going to start farther back. I'm going to get my pubic bone on there. I'm going to walk out a little farther now. Now it's on my knees. It's on my knees. There's more core connection. I have to hold stronger. From here, I'm still going to scoop and lay long. So you've got 2 options now. You could tuck and roll open, or you could pike and roll open. Both are good. Watch you're not leaning way over your shoulders. The movement is still spinal as you go in and out. So I'm going to stay with tucks and lengthen out. Pikes is a little harder. Please go ahead and go pikes. My hip flex is not having that pike action, so I'm staying with my tucks. Go 1 more, look to the knees, tuck in, crunch those abdominals, lengthen out. Now in this position, you can walk out either way, or I can pull a leg forward, pull another leg forward, and come out that way. So now you've got to figure out, how the hell am I dismounting the ball? And there's no right or wrong. Just kind of, it's not graceful. Just come out any way you physically can. We're going to go 1 stepping stone farther, where you can roll right out, where the shin down here and the ball of foot are on. So when you curl, you can tuck in or you can go up to the sky. Either or, whatever feels good. Or go back to either of the first 2 that we just practiced, right? So I'm going to come on differently now. Because I'm going full body, I'm going to find my balance, hold the ball with 2 fingers. I'm going to hold the wall. Like I said, my balance is a little wonky today. I'm going to get 1 foot on there. Got 1 foot on there. Yeah, you got it, Kylie. And then I'm going to bend down, find one hand, find the other, scoop those abdominals, make sure this foot is parallel, pushing hard into the ball, up goes the other. So from here, when I tuck, I'm going deeper. The toes and the shins are getting stretched. And I'm going to press out. Or I'm going to pike those hips to the sky. And look to the floor. Look to your pubic bone. Notice how you sickle the ankles here. Keep them strong. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lengthen. I'm coming out. I want you to go 4 or 5 more. If it's in your body, if it's not, step out and come out. Scoop those abdominals. Remember, it could be pike or it could be tuck. Both are good. Yeah, nice, you guys. Go 2 more. Huge breath up as you curl in. And go 1 more. And lengthen all the way out. Dismount any way that works. Nobody's watching but me. My dismount was not graceful. Go ahead and roll there a little bit. So we're going to get a little hip flexor stretch because that pulls into the hip flexors and the abs. Use that ball. I'm just going to stay facing straight on. I'm going to drop 1 knee down. Use a pad if you need to. That knee that dropped down, it's open. Don't tuck it in. This leg has to go forward so you can feel yourself lean forward. If you don't need the ball, push it away. If you know you don't need the ball, push it away. I'm going to pull this ball into my hip and my pubic bone and then rest my hips on top of it. Again, don't need the ball. Just get rid of it and go into your hip flexor stretch. Inhale, exhale. So I'm going to take that weight and I'm either going to push into my knee or push into my ball and lift up. If I feel good, I'm going to grab that back leg. I'm going to lift. Still okay. Maybe I grab it with both hands and I open. And I'm just leaving my pelvis slightly pushed into the ball. Inhale, exhale. Roll those shoulders open. Little no in the neckline. Slowly come out of that. Now, if your gecko is in your practice, push back. Turn this foot out to the side. And again, Hips don't really like it on this side, so I'm going to come to my elbow and just press very gently. If you can get your elbows down on the floor and do this, push your ball out of the way. Right? I'm going gentle. I'm not going that deep. Inhale, exhale. And then very gently come out of that. Both knees back in. Ball goes to the other side. If you're not using the ball, don't worry about it. Push that leg, what feels too far forward, so you can pull into your hip flexor. Slide the ball right into that little corner nook, and then lift your heart. Working for you, reach one arm, reach both. Maybe hold the ball with one hand, grab your back leg. Maybe grab the back leg with both hands. This will cause you to open your shoulders. It gives you more stretch there in your shoulder girdle. Lift the heart, watch your balance. One more good breath. Slowly come out of that. Push away, take this leg off to the side, laterally rotate it. Your sole of the foot can shine forward. If you're okay, you're going to use the ball and just come down a little bit. If you're good and you're feeling good and you're a little more mobile, go ahead and bring your elbows to the floor. Again, a little tight. I'm actually pulling that ball. I'm going to turn here so that I don't overstretch into my hip flexor. I'm pulling this ball in tight. Then I'm going into my depth and then rotating. And that way I'm not overstretching into the hip, right? So I can go deeper. It does not feel good right now in my body. So you just remember to listen to what your body's dictating. Some days are better than others in your hips, knees, back, neck, shoulders, whatever it is that gives you grief. Slowly come out of that. And we're just going to do one little stretch from the knees. So we're nice and tall. Little cat-cow. I've got a little lateral rotation going. I'm going to peel it down. If I'm tight, my elbows are going on. If I'm okay in the shoulders, my hands are wide, they're going on. I untuck, I drop down. So I want more shoulder stretch. I've wiggled the ball farther away. I am pushing down with my palms, untucking my tailbone, dropping into my shoulder girdle. Inhale, exhale here. The farther I roll out, the more pressure goes into my shoulders, the more stretch I'm going to get towards an anterior tilt. And then drop your tailbone heavy, round your spine, curl it all the way up, pull that ball in, rib hip check, give a little bit of thigh stretch. Again, I'm going really modest on my thigh stretch. If you have more and you want to bring the ball up and do it, go for it. You guys know that, right? You've done it enough with me. Peel it down. We're going one more cat-cow. So here's your cow part. I'm looking up towards my ball. I am allowing that curvature into an arched position. Now I'm going to drop my tailbone first, curl my spine, engage those abdominals to get there. Find a little rib hip check. Lie back. Roll the shoulders open again. You can go farther if you want. Big breath here. Beautiful, you guys. Nice. Choose your options. Bring it all the way up. Bring those knees in tight. Place your elbows on. Curl your toes. Right underneath you. Engage them. Now sit back into your toes, give them a little stretch, and then come out. Let's go ahead and sit back in and come out. And just to make sure that chest is open, sit back in. We're just going to let that ball go forward. If your ball runs, actually let it run away. Interlace your hands or grab a strap, push that down and open. Want a bit more pins and needles on the toes, sink back, put weight into your heels and pull your arms away. Lift your heart. Super hard place to find big breaths. Go ahead and try. It'll stretch out the chest line more. Slowly come out of that. And we're going to finish with an elephant or a down dog. Hands what feels too far forward. Lift and give me some prancing into those calves. So we have not hit an elephant-ish position yet. So take your time here. Believe it or not, that's one area that we used when we were against the wall. So if they feel tight and you're like, what the heck? We were using them against the wall, that calf line, right? Drop both heels, press a little deeper into that. Couple little breaths there. Walk your hands to your feet, flat hand. If you're using your fingertips, bend the knees. So 4, 3, all the way in and 2 and 1. If ragdoll is in your practice, widen your legs. Either free flow the ragdoll or elbows to the knees. Head is looking through to your pubic bone, shoulders are relaxed. Let your head dangle. Give it a little wiggle. No. Oh, one more big breath for me. Bend the knees. Slowly articulate all the way up vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll those shoulders, give those legs a little wiggle, let everything go, loosey-goosey, little salamander, go ahead and let everything kind of, and then big breath up. Exhale, hands down center, and we are done.